Welcome to the Bench Warmers, the sports podcast where the takes are fire, the laughs are loud, and the stats, well, let's just say they're debatable. Bishop, Pops, Marlon, and Jason are calling it the way they see it, straight from the fans' perspective. Grab a seat and join the bench. It's game time. Welcome back to the Bench Warmers podcast. Episode 4 is here, and you know what that means. It's more hot takes, more laughs, and more questionable predictions that just might end up being right. I'm Bishop. I got the crew with me. We got Marlon and Pops with us. Jason was not able to be with us today, but I got the rest of the boys with me here. Marlon, Pops, what's going on?
It's all good, man. Go Bears.
Yes, how y'all feeling tonight?
And we are feeling great. And had a great week this week with the Bears beating up the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But as we do around this time, we're going to go around the horn, see what y'all drinking. Let's get these shots in the air. Marlo, what you got?
I'm designated Dave tonight, G.
Oh, man, you doing daddy duties today. I get it. No worries. Marlo got a shot of water. Pops, what you got?
1800 tequila with some strawberry juice.
Oh, I like it. And me, once again, I got the tequila corazon de agave. Once again, we are saying these names right here, shooting for a sponsorship. So tequila corazon, if you see us, we'll take a couple dollars from you. All right, y'all, put y'all shots up in the air. Let's drink up. And we
go ahead.
Get started. You know, I think that's beginning to be one of my best parts of the show. That's one of my favorites. All right, so the biggest headline this week, obviously the Bears versus the Bills. Don't worry about it. We got y'all covered. We're going to break down the highlights, the lowlights, and what this game really means, if anything. We do know it's preseason, as we said before. But before we do that, we're going to get into another segment, again, of whose kid is this. Right now, I want y'all to check out this little dude. I call him the big homie QB. Now, he ain't the fastest. He ain't got the prettiest moves. But, man, this dude's vision is off the chain. Check him out. Killing him.
Hey, he ain't slow now.
Hey, listen, you got a right guard coming out the backfield of QB. Watch it. Watch it.
Where's he going?
That boy, hey, what? Oh,
little Barry Sanders.
Yeah, my man back there looking like Justin Fields.
Look at him on the dime too.
Ooh, no, Marlon. He did not look like Justin Fields on that one.
I was just about to say no more Justin Fields. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Hey, no, my man liked that though.
That man, he said, "I am him, slim with a tilted brim." So look,
with the tilted brim.
Look, if y'all know who kid that is, please send him to the Bench Warmers. We would love to check him out and have him on the show. Him, his pops, his mom, whoever it is. We just want to talk to the little dude. So before we get into the Bears, did y'all get a chance to watch anybody else? Any rookies? Anybody stand out to y'all this week?
Oh man, I'm honed in on the Bears, man. It's time. We had the joint practice on Friday with Buffalo, leading into the game on Sunday, and now we on to Kansas City, where the starters are going to play. I'm just 100% focused in, man. It's time. We're about 2 weeks away from week one, and that's all I'm looking at right now.
Are you having trouble sleeping at night because of the anxiety?
Not yet. But when I wake up, that's one of the first things on my mind. Like, man, okay, let's see what we doing today.
Let's see what the Bears did last night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and Pops, I'm sure, you know, as you say so often, this is preseason. I'm sure you ain't watched nothing, right?
I actually did watch a couple of games for a couple of minutes. But I didn't pay much attention because it's the preseason, man.
Yeah, I got you. So, you know, my whole rookie thing, I'm still just watching the Shedeur Sanders story and watching how that plays out. Because they still got my man number 4. Well, he moved up to number 3 on the depth chart now, right?
Now, I did see a drive of Dylan Gabriel. So I that wasn't the truth. I did see like a drive of Dylan Gabriel. He in no way looked better than Shedeur. Yeah. But they do still have him over him on the depth chart. So I don't get that. But yeah, no, he don't look like he's it, especially not right now. Got a lot of growing to do, which they both gonna have a lot of growth.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm rooting for Shador, and I'm hoping by the middle of the season, something happens where they really decide to get that man this shot because I think he deserves it.
So let me ask you a question. If you had your choice, would you take Shador or Caleb Williams?
Mm,
Oh,
that's a good question.
oh.
That's a terrible question.
That's a good question. So
So,
for me, I'm gonna still have to ride with Caleb, although I really like Shador. Um, I mean, and if there was any way that I could take both of them and I can squeeze both of them, I would. But I think I would have to go with Caleb.
So, in my opinion, they're not even in the same class. It's Caleb by a mile. I'm
Caleb by a
rolling with my
mile.
boy Nails.
I'm with you on that, Marlon. Hey, I got another question. If you could have a second-year Caleb Williams or a fourth-year Justin Fields, which one would you take?
I'm still riding with Caleb. And you know what? And I love Justin. I love Justin. I want to see that man succeed so bad. Just because of what we did to that man. We hyped him up just like we hyped up Caleb Williams. At the time Justin Williams was supposed to come to Chicago.
Justin Williams, huh?
Justin.
Hey,
At the
is he a
time,
witness protection or what?
he might have to be after what he did here. But when Justin was supposed to first come here, we had that dude on the highest pedestal. This dude's the second coming. He's gonna come and save this franchise. We gave him 1 year, and man, we bailed on that man so bad, and I just felt bad for him. And I feel like if they would have done for Justin what they did for Caleb, especially this year, I don't know. I think Justin might have been a different guy.
You know, the fact that Justin has gone to two, now is it three other teams, and hasn't been able to stick on any of them. Do you blame that on the Bears, or do you call that out on Justin's capability?
Man, you know, there's an old saying: if you got a problem in every relationship that you in, that it ain't the other person, it's you. So if I had to say it, and man, I feel bad because I want to see this kid make it, but it's got to be him. It's got to be.
So I think Chicago fell in love with Justin because he was the black quarterback of the 2020s. We felt like we was finally on board with the movement.
Breaking the
Black
color
quarterback. Yeah, with the black quarterback movement. But now look, I will say this, and I told Pops when we first drafted Justin, I thought we had our quarterback for the next 10 years. I watched him play in the national semifinal in college. I watched him play in the national championship game in college. Wait, did they go to the Natty? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did and they lost. But my man was playing lights out. He took some huge hits and came back and finished the game, drove Ohio State down to win games. So I really liked what we had with Justin. But over the years, he just never proved to be a top tier thrower of the football. My man is always going to be the best athlete on the field, though. Like nobody can question that. But when it comes to throwing the football, anticipatory throws, putting it in spots, timing, it's just he hasn't found it yet. And it's not to say that he can't, but I think the clock is ticking. I think he's on his way to being a career backup, which is probably the best job in America.
I'll take it. I'll
What?
take it.
In
And
a
so,
second.
do you think that Justin could go somewhere and flourish maybe in like a pistol type of situation where he can be a QB first, but have that running back, roll right after it. You know what I mean? Look for the throw first, and if you ain't got it, just tuck and go.
I just don't
Maybe
think that
even running
wins in the
some options,
NFL. Wait, say that again?
or maybe even like running some options or something.
Yeah, I just don't think that wins in the NFL. These defensive coaches and defensive players, they too good for that. You become one dimensional and you fool. So yeah, I just feel like if that's your game plan, you need to be looking for a quarterback.
So, our segment that we start off with every week, whose kid is that? That's where Justin could dominate as a quarterback on that field with those little kids. But you put him out with grown men who play football for a living. Justin Fields has proven that he is not capable of handling the rock. We all wanted him to do it, but he ain't did it. Nowhere he went in the pros.
Now, I don't follow much college football. So a lot of stuff that I see, leading into the draft and all of that, that's from the highlights. And now, from what I saw in college, Justin Fields was a different animal. Is it really that much of a jump between college and the NFL to where you are the man in college? And I guess I can answer that question, which is because it's the same thing on the high school level. You got somebody that's the man in high school and can't scratch the practice team in college. So, I mean, is it really that big of a jump?
I think it is that big of a jump. Every level of sports, when you go from Pee Wee Pop Warner football to the next level, it's a jump. When you go to your grammar school team, it's a jump from that. When you go to your high school team, it's a jump from that. By the time you get to the pros, you have jumped to the top of the mountain. College football and pro football are very, very, very different games with very different skill levels, very different motivations. So, Marcus, to answer your question, is it that much difference? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I'm with Pop. I definitely think the jump is that real. And then two things to remember. First of all, Justin didn't win the starting job in Georgia, which is why he transferred to Ohio State in the first place. I'm pretty sure he lost the job to Stetson Bennett, who was at Georgia for like 6 years, but that's neither here nor there. Then when you get to Ohio State, man, that roster was unbelievable. Those receivers were winning every one-on-one rep. And I think what Justin has showed then and has continued to show in the NFL is if you're wide open, he can hit you. I don't care if you're 60 yards down the field, he can put it on you if you're wide open. It's those throws where it's like, man, only a few quarterbacks can make that throw. He's not one of those few, in my opinion. But yeah, that team at Ohio State, man, they had multiple first round draft picks at wide receiver. And those dudes was just running wide open. And then, like I said, Justin 9 times out of 10 is the best athlete on the field.
And in pro football, the connection between the quarterback and the receiver is like a gift from God, man. You can hear the angels singing when it's working properly. And in a good scheme, the ball is out of the quarterback's hand before the receiver makes a break. And by the way, Caleb Williams did that a few times the other night on that drive, and it made me smile. I never saw Justin Williams. There he is again. I never saw Caleb Williams.
We have to get this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna. I never saw Justin Fields make anticipatory throws. It just was like that was not a part of who he was.
I'm looking. I will say this though. I'm looking to see what he got to do this year. He's probably one of the only other individuals that I'm going to pay real close attention to, because I want to see what he do. Chicago love the man. I got some guys I work with that they swear by him, and they still mad that we got rid of him. And a lot of the city feels that way. I'm not of that mindset, but I want to see. I want to see who's right. I want to see if he proves that he can do it, or if I'm right and he's just not going to ever be one of those top tier NFL quarterbacks.
Well, hey, just like I'm rooting for Shador, I'm rooting for Justin. And hey, don't just listen to this conversation. Hit us up on our Facebook group. Share your takes. You can also leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/the bench performers, and you can be featured on our next episode. Or you can also leave us a message on our Facebook, or feel free to text us. Like we had a couple of people send us one. This is from a good friend of our family here called, his name is Mark Schoenfield. He says, you four was good as the ex-jocks talking heads during sports bits. Congratulations. I was also impressed that you did your research before the show. And having known them since they was young, how articulate your three colleagues were. And that's from Mark Schoenfield in Wilmette, Illinois. Mark, appreciate you. I'm glad you can see, we got a little smarts going on. Pops gave us a little bit of something. But look, I'm going to tell you,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then, so Marlon, this is from one of your people. I don't know his name, but I'm going to tell you, this is the best comment that I've seen thus far. I sent one of his people say, hey, I sent your podcast to one of my friends who was also a sports enthusiast. He subscribed and he has his feedback. And this was what his feedback was. I fucks with their podcast. So I like that. So whatever y'all want to say to us, y'all can either leave it, y'all can text us, y'all can send us some on Facebook. You can leave us a voicemail. However way you want to talk to us, feel free to, and we would love to feature you on the show. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Pop, you kind of brought it up a little bit. We're gonna get into the Bears versus the Bills. Man, it was a good game. We won 38-0. Caleb took an opening drive, 93 yards down the field. And he looked good for the series that he was out there. Man, that Burton kid, he looked good. Coast, everybody to me looked good on that opening drive. Again, 92 yards, ended with a touchdown. What did y'all have to think about that? Let's just talk about that opening drive. What did you think about that?
Well, the opening drive was a wonderful thing to watch. Being a Bears fan for over 50 years, I haven't seen a drive like that maybe more than 10 or 12 times in those 50 years. And so to see that, to see the execution, to see the different schemes that Ben Johnson is bringing to the Bears with a lot of verticality in terms of the receivers, which is creating more separation for the receivers and the quarterback. Marcus, it was a wonderful thing to watch.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody watched that who could have had an issue with it. They got started back deep on the muff kick. But right away, a quick pass to Colson Loveland, just something to get everybody's feet wet and get them ready to play football. This is their first game of the preseason. Got that quick on the Colson Loveland. Then you hit Cole Kmet down the seam. What I liked was the fact that everything went off without a hitch. There were no pre-snap penalties, no delay of games. Everybody came. Caleb got the play in, got it out, even checked coverage. Checked the line and switched the protection. Did that with no issues. I like the drive, even though it was against Buffalo's twos. They didn't play their starters after the joint practice on Friday, but the Bears looked really good. I like the scheme. It just looked like, man, I've never seen people running wide open wearing Chicago Bears uniforms. So that was a sight to see.
Yeah. And like I said, they looked like a real football team. And I hate that we have to put the asterisk on there. They were playing against the twos, but they were. But the twos on anybody's NFL team, we're probably all ones on somebody's college team, like we were just talking about. So I'm gonna go with that, and I think they look great. Now going into the game, once we got past Caleb and the ones, we did start to see some breakdowns. What did you all see that kind of concerned you throughout this game?
For me, Caleb in that second drive wasn't nearly as accurate. Now not Bryson Jones. Yikes. Darnell Wright got beat pretty bad on the play where Caleb had to scramble out and he tried to force the throw on the hash mark. It fell incomplete. But so I wouldn't necessarily put that on him. But he had the little screen pass out to the running back. It was not the screen, but the little flats pass to the running back that he missed. He had roamed for that first down that would have extended that second drive, and that throw was off the mark. I like the fact that he dirted the screen pass when there was nothing there, but his accuracy is going to have to be much better than it was last year. and that did pop up for me in that second drive.
Pop, what about you?
Well, I think that Caleb has got to trust the system. And to trust the system, you've got to trust the head coach. These two guys have to be like they're getting a room for the evening, because that's how close they have to be. They've got to be on the same page. They've got to have the same thought process. Even when one doesn't agree with the other one, that one has to respect the other one. And if Caleb can do that, I think he's proven in college that he's got the skill sets to be a top level quarterback. I think some of the glimpses that we've seen of him last year, and especially in that drive this game, kind of confirmed that this kid is an NFL quarterback. We've put some pieces around him. You asked, what am I concerned about? I'm concerned about Darnell Wright. I'll tell you that. This dude gets tired really, really fast. There's many times where he doesn't finish all 3 downs in all 4 downs in the series because he gets tired. In fact, somebody told me that sometimes they have to give him oxygen getting off the bus, walking to the practice field. So if this dude doesn't get his stamina together, that's going to be a real problem. Also, I was told by somebody who happens to have some inside knowledge of the Bears that one of the real concerns with Darnell Wright, in addition to his conditioning, is the fact that they say he loses focus during the games. Now, I've got to admit that I never pinpointed that as the reason why people were beating him, but it certainly makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's funny that you say that. And, in all these years, I've never really said this, but there were some times where I've lost focus in, just in the game where I just kind of blanked out. I remember playing, my senior year, I played center. And, there was some times where, we came out, I got the snap count. And if anybody should know the snap count, it's me. And I go out, I get to the ball, I get down there, and my quarterback goes through the cadence. He says the count, and everybody's running, and I'm still sitting there with the ball. Like, wait a minute. So, I never thought that it would make it that far up the totem pole to where, NFL players are doing the same thing. But I guess I can feel that. So, yeah, man, that is deep, though, because that obviously can cause some issues.
Another thing, and Pop brought it up two or three episodes ago. I'm guessing it was 2 episodes ago. The injuries are piling up. That secondary is starting to get decimated. Austin Booker went out, and he was having an amazing preseason. Looked like he was really primed to have a good year. He went out in that game. Terrell Smith, who was fighting for that second cornerback spot, with Jalen Johnson being out right now and Tyreek probably taking over the 1. He goes out with a torn patella. So it's the injuries are definitely starting to be a problem, and hopefully Ryan Poles can make some moves, and more importantly, Ben Johnson and the rest of the coaching staff can coach these guys so it can be that next man up mentality, and they maintain their same standard.
Now, let me ask y'all this. In relation to these injuries racking up, in any sport, is preseason really something that you got to have, or can you have like some joint practices and just jump right into the season? Because now you're losing valuable people, and your season hasn't even started. Does preseason play that much of a role, in getting ready for a real NFL season, or can you pad up doing some joint practices and obviously you go take it easy and do a few of those and then just jump into the season?
Injuries are inevitable. They're going to happen in the preseason or in the real season. Sometimes they happen in the locker room. Don't ask me for any inside information on that one. But they're inevitable. And so I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was Matt Eberflus made the decision not to play any of his starters in the preseason. It was a fiasco.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely terrible. The team was not ready to play on game 1 of the season. So personally, I think you do need the preseason. I think everybody in the NFL is going through the same thing. Every team has injuries, and yeah. So to answer your question, I think you do need to play people in the preseason.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think in some sports, maybe only basketball. Actually, you could probably get away with no preseason in basketball. Some scrimmages with other team, or maybe your ones against your twos. But with football, I think you need to build up that callous, that toughness for week one. I don't think it's ever a good thing to go in never having hit somebody, as hard as you can before
Right.
before the first game. And then more importantly too, the quarterback. Practices are protected, even joint practices. It's known, stay off the quarterback, stay off the guy in orange, in our case.
Mhm.
But when it's the regular season and those bullets are flying, and even in the preseason, when somebody can't hold up, I think he needs that. He needs to see that speed. He needs to feel that presence and know that if I don't get this ball out of my hand, I'm gonna get my clock clean, and nobody's gonna blow the whistle and have to run laps for touching me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess y'all are right, man. But man, you just hate to see the sometimes you see a star go down, you
Yeah,
know, in preseason for a $20 ticket, and now, later on in the season, you got this $350 ticket and you can't even see the main attraction, you know what I mean? So yeah, so hey, I guess like y'all said, it is what it is. But um moving right along, we just gave Tyson Bagent $10 million. Was that the right thing to do?
I think it was the right thing to do. Tyson Bagent is a class act. He's put in his time. He's done it diligently. He's done it with respect, and he's done it effectively. Don't forget, he started several games when Fields got hurt a couple of years ago. And there really wasn't that much difference in the play between him and Fields. Uh, a backup quarterback, you'll notice that's a 2-year deal, which kind of goes along with, I think, what Caleb has left on his deal. And so putting them together on the same timeline from a strategic standpoint also makes a lot of sense. So that these two guys are in the quarterback room together, understanding that, hey, bro, me and you are in this together for the next 2 years. Let's make this happen. I'll help you. You help me. I think it was a great deal. I was glad to see Tyson Bagent get that money.
yeah, I like Tyson a lot. I think he's a solid, very solid backup. I think if you needed Tyson to come in for 4 games, which he showed in those games that Papa was just talking about, he can get you a split, and that's really all you are asking from your backup quarterback. And I think Tyson is more than capable of doing that. Yesterday in his press conference, man, he kind of got a little emotional.
Yeah.
Say his dad, man, didn't have running water till he was in high school, and
Mhm.
now this man is bringing home a check for $10 million over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
It's the story to me is bigger than the performance, but his play is warranted the story. So I like what we did. I'm glad that he's our backup for the next 2 years, and hopefully we never see him on the field.
Well, as y'all know, I'm pretty sold on Tyson. I like Tyson, and I think if something happened to where Tyson had to take over at least for a game or two, I think we would be in good hands. So I was glad to see him win that. I mean, to see him get that money, get that extension. I think he's a good quarterback for the game. And like Pop said, for him to be growing up with Caleb Williams and them working together, and just him not even trying to overstep his role. He just like, it's like he knows his role. He knows what he's there for. He knows he's there really to make Caleb better. To make Caleb know, hey, you're not the only one out here, and you're gonna have to really play your game to keep this. He seems like a very humble kid. He always seems like he's into the game and just playing it for the right reasons. He ain't running after the bag. He ain't, nah, I'm gonna sit out because I don't want 10 million. I want 17 million. I'm gonna get what I can get. I'm gonna get this running water in my house, and I'm gonna play the game of football. So I like it.
And Marcus, it's also a culture thing. One of the biggest things the Bears are going to do this year is to begin to build a winning culture. When was the last time the Bears re-signed a quarterback?
Yeah, now
Was it
that
Jay Cutler?
you
Yep.
mentioned it, it's been some time.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure if I'm right about that, but I think I am. But Jay Cutler,
It's
and
Jay.
how about this one? When was the last time that the Bears re-signed a homegrown quarterback that they drafted into their system, not that they got from Denver or
Yeah,
somebody else? I
yeah,
don't know how far back you have to
Yeah.
go to do that.
I might not have
And
been alive.
you may not have been alive, Marlon. And
yeah,
so I think that what is happening is the Bears are making a real effort to build culture. Giving Tyson Bagent $10 million sent a message to a lot of people who are on the team, as well as some who are thinking about maybe I'd like to be a Bear one day.
yeah,
And I think it's a good message.
Yeah.
yeah.
You come in, put in the work, go about everything the right way. We'll reward you.
And we saw that last year when they was on Hard Knocks. Obviously a lot of that is scripted and a lot of that is edited and this that, but they were showing that even then that that's the kind of culture that they're going into.
Mhm.
You come in here,
Mhm.
you work because who was that? Velas Jones. I could have seen him going off the show 10 times, but they love the dude and they really tried to stand behind the dude.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good look because the Bears have not been that type of organization. As a matter of fact, if you just be blunt about it, Chicago sports, period, are not that type of organization to where they're trying to home grow people and this is our system. You go learn our system and you go live and die in this system. We are a quick we are a quick place to move on.
Yeah. We the feeder system for the league.
Right. So yeah, so now one other phase of the game that we got to see a little bit of was the defense, and we kind of alluded to it a little bit, especially with some of the injuries that's going on with the defense. But overall, what y'all thinking about this defense?
I liked what I saw. That it was a dominant effort. I mean, the shutout of a Super Bowl contending team, even without their starters, the depth is why they're a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah,
And we really showed up and showed out. Again, Austin Booker, we're looking at him right now, jumped off the screen, man, a few times. I hope he gets back healthy because I think he's primed for a great year. But the defense looked really good. I'm really excited to see what we got going on Friday night against Kansas City. They're starting their starters. We're going to play our starters, and let's see what we got. We got Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know if Grady Jarrett is going to play. I probably doubt it with him being in year 10 or 11. He's probably one of those guys that can just be ready for the regular season. But I want to see what the pass rush has to do, and I want to see how that secondary with those injuries. I want to see how they hold up in the first series or two, hoping for a quarter of play.
And I think Marlon hit just a very important point, the injuries. This defense is going to be no better than the injuries that it suffers. If 4 or 5 starters get hurt and are out, the defense will probably not be very good. If these guys can stay healthy, follow Dennis Allen's plan, put some pressure on the quarterback, get some penetration on the defensive line, get some compression from the outside with Sweat and whoever's going to play on the other side, will be good. But that will only work if those guys are on the field playing.
yeah. So there was a couple of plays where I saw our defense being our defense. There was one play that was playing on the reel that I was just playing on the side by side. Where dude he's back in coverage and just falls for no reason. It's like, dude, what pushed you over? You know what I mean? And although we are getting some good penetration on that front line, I'm still not seeing a whole lot of blitzing. coming at the quarterback. You know what I mean? Let's be aggressive. And and it scares me where we're not being so aggressive, because that's got to mean that you're not trusting the secondary to be able to play a man-to-man defense, or a softer zone. You're not trusting them to be able to cover that area. So I'm hoping with this game with Kansas City, where we're going starter against starter, I'm hoping that we can see a little bit more aggressiveness, and I really hope that we can put Patrick Mahomes down at least once time, because I keep tabs on people, like the Aaron Rodgers thing with the whole belt and the whole "I own you" and all of that. I was glad. Well, let me not say I was glad. But when he went down that first play of his opening debut of being the next guard of the Jets, I wasn't too upset about that. And Patrick Mahomes did something that slighted me before we played them, and he ran a touchdown on a sneak and go do the count, like for all the quarterbacks that we passed, all the players that we passed, that went before him in the draft. And, even though we did go and get Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes, you didn't have to do that, fella. So I hope they get him down. And now Pop's gonna put on the glasses. Something about to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, something about to happen. When Mahomes did the count,
Yeah.
I was doing it with him, because the Bears should never have drafted Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And in fact, they traded up to get Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Pat, I'm with you, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, man. All right, well, whatever, man. I would never, Patrick, that's a good dude. I like watching him on the field. He does some magical stuff, and but now he's on the other side of his career, though. Patrick's getting older, so it'll be good to see, how he develops and goes into the second half of his career.
Hey, and Marcus, I will say this: the preseason scheme on defense is going to be pretty vanilla. They're not going to really show too much of what they're trying to bring Monday night against Minnesota on September 8th. But I have heard that Dennis Allen's defense is very aggressive. It's not going to be that bend but don't break that we experienced with Matt Eberflus, which was a solid defense. But the Chicago Bears are an attacking team, man, and we're an attacking defense, and that's what I think we're going to get back to with Dennis.
Well, I hope you're right, man, because listen, I'm one of those people that go into every season, no matter how last season treated me. I go into the next season thinking that the Bears can be a Super Bowl contending team. And this year, I see I'm getting my Stephen A on right. This year, I believe that the Bears can really make some noise in this not only in this league, but in this conference. I think with a couple of shakes, we can surprise the world if we can take the NFC North. We can take it.
Well, Marcus, I hope you are right, but I think you are dead wrong. I think the NFC North may be the toughest division in football. I think the Bears, with all of the good things that they did this year, are probably still the worst team in that division.
Come on, man.
You got Detroit, you got Green Bay, Minnesota, and I know Minnesota's going to be starting a quarterback that really hasn't played before, but there are arguments to be made that the Bears are the worst team in the division. I hope that's not correct. And even if it is correct, if we win 8 or 9 games, I think it's been a great season. So going to the Super Bowl, they better buy their tickets now.
I'm sure they get early access too. But listen, I'm gonna just do it. And one last thing on the Bears before we wrap this thing up. We've been hearing about this new stadium. Man, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now, are we really about to pick up and leave the city of Chicago and go to Arlington Heights and rebuild? Is that really about to happen? Because if so, I'm all for it. Because this stadium that I saw and this hotel, casino, and everything else that they're gonna have with this thing, I'm all in. I'm ready to go to the stadium today.
No, it's happening, man. We bought that land at Arlington Racetrack, demolished the racetrack. the city is playing hardball with the team, we going. And if you think about it too, a lot of teams, a lot of metropolitan teams aren't in their city.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. I'm pretty sure they're still in Arlington, or at
Yeah.
least they were. Obviously, the Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey. Um, I'm not sure if SoFi. I don't think SoFi is downtown in LA. I think that's out in the outskirts a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's they're not building no more land, and the cities are trying to get as many people in there as possible to obviously get their money up. And so the sports teams got to move out, and the Bears ain't no different. But I think that stadium is going to be top of the line. I think it's going to be next level.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the best stadium in the world. I had an opportunity to see some things the other day, which were just amazing. The things that you are going to be able to do in the stadium, the retractable roof, the way that it can be retracted to give different sun exposure,
Yeah.
the way that they can darken one part of the stadium and lighten another part. It's next level. But Marcus, to your question, the Bears have the two problems with staying in Chicago. One is the political nature of the city of Chicago, which has always been politically corrupt. And if you really just want to be blunt, politically stupid. Uh, they let the Bears go. Yes, I think the Bears are leaving. The other thing is there's an organization called the Friends of the Park, which is a very powerful organization in the city of Chicago that whose main goal is to protect public land and keep it public for the citizens and visitors. And for example, they're the ones that really caused Meigs Field to ultimately be torn down
Yeah.
because Mayor Daley, the younger Mayor Daley, wanted to expand Meigs Field. The Friends of the Park sued him, pretty much shut him down. If the Bears make a move to stay on the lakefront and expand and take more acreage, the Friends of the Park are coming after them. They've shown that can win before. I think they would win again. I think the Bears know that. I think they're going to Arlington Heights.
And so now I know the Bears don't own Soldier Field. That's the Chicago Park District, but they do own the name. They'll be able to stay the Chicago Bears, right?
They would be
Yeah.
able to say the Chicago Bears. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that for branding and marketing purposes. I mean, why would you want to become the Arlington Heights Bears, even if you're playing in Arlington Heights, and give up on a brand that's been built over the last 100
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that they probably will keep the name.
Yeah. Okay.
While I understand the move, it's going to hurt. Football is better on the lakefront, man.
Yeah.
They come in for the primetime games, the Sunday night, the Monday nights, the cut-ins from the commercials, and when they cutting out to commercials,
It's a
you get
beautiful
the
sight.
views. You got Soldier Field with the city as the backdrop, and
Yeah.
man, it's not gonna be the same. It's gonna hurt, man. So they better show improve with this stadium.
Well, you know what? We were able to get past Comiskey Park going to guaranteed rate. We was able to get past the Sears Tower becoming the Willis Tower.
And don't forget, the Bears used to play at Wrigley Field.
Yeah,
That's true. And so
that,
Mama called him Clay. I'm gonna always call him Clay. So it ain't gonna be the Arlington Heights Bears. They're
no,
gonna be the Chicago Bears for me forever and forevermore. So I'm actually happy to see it. We are now being placed to be able to host a Super Bowl. We'll be able to do some things in the stadium during the winter months. And I think just overall, I think the city of Chicago is seriously stupid for even letting something like that happen. Just everything that they're going to lose and miss from that. It's silly that you let that walk away because of a group called the Friends of the Park, which just sounds like a goofy name anyway.
Well, it started with Lori Lightfoot. Uh, she's the one that allowed this problem to begin and to fester. And then Brandon Johnson comes along. He's really at a very negative position in terms of being able to do what he's going to do. The Bears have already paid a couple of $100 million for Arlington Park for all of that land.
Yeah.
They were looking for a way to stay in Chicago, even after buying that land, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But the Bears, the city couldn't capitalize on it, and the friends of the park are like blitzing linebackers who are just waiting to come at you.
Now, I was under the impression that Pritzker had a lot to do with it too. Now I'm not sure how real that is. I definitely didn't read into it, but I heard that Pritzker had a heavy hand in it not being Chicago too, with state funding and things like that. You heard anything about that?
I have read, I mean, I don't know anything confidentially, but I have read that the state made a decision that they were not going to go billions of dollars in the hole so that the McCaskies could have a place on the lakefront.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm gonna miss the lake.
Yeah, yeah, but maybe they'll get the Arena League or something, or get the UFL to come and play there. And
Right.
I kind of like them actually. They play some good football in that league.
Yeah.
Maybe we can actually get the Savannah Bananas to come and play there. Who knows what's going to happen with Soldier Field? So look, we're not going to concentrate a whole lot on predictions this week. We got the Bears and the Chiefs. I believe this is the last week of preseason before we hop into the regular season.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's just take that pick. Who's Marlon? Pop, who you got? The Bears or the Chiefs?
Marcus, I would say the Chiefs, but in preseason, whatever you say, it just doesn't really matter because you don't know what the Chiefs are going to do in terms of their personnel for this game, what the Bears are going to do for their personnel for this game, how long they're going to leave the starters in, if they're trying to make a decision on a nickelback who may be out of the league the following week, they're going to give him reps that he wouldn't otherwise have gotten if they're trying to make that decision. So I would say the Chiefs, but I'm with no confidence at all. Now, by the way, when we get to the regular season, I will do my best to make qualified picks of who's going to win the games.
All right, because I'm just hoping that your camera feed doesn't all of a sudden go away again. Sorry,
Yeah.
I remember what happened last week. So let's just hope that don't happen again. As for me and my house, we are always gonna ride with the Bears. So I'm gonna ride with the Bears, and I'm gonna say the Bears gonna win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And Marlo, who you got?
Man, I'm rolling with the Bears, man. Now we don't know who's gonna play and how long. I like our scheme. I like our coaching, and I feel like that. While granted, obviously the starters are only gonna play as long as they're gonna play. No matter who's in there, though, I think we're going to be coaching to win, and I think that's going to be important. We're going to be looking at roster battles, getting some guys some last looks, and seeing who can try to make the 53 or the practice squad. But like I said, I like our scheme, I like our coaching, and I feel like we coaching to win. And so I'm rolling with Ben Johnson, Antoine Randall, and the boys.
Man, I'm liking seeing Antoine Randall on the
I love
side.
it.
Homegrown talent. Man, I remember watching him play basketball in high school. That dude was off the chain. I mean, that Antoine Randall has always been a stand-up guy. He's good for the city. He's good for the team. So I think that's a good thing. So, guys, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Bench Mob, that's it for today's show. But don't just listen, be a part of the team. Join our Facebook group for the after the show trash talking. Hit us up on SpeakPipe. Drop us a line on the Facebook page. You never know. We can talk about you on the show. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else that you hear your podcast. The bench warmers are just heating up. So until next time, we will holler. Peace.